Hey, welcome back to Fresh Gaming News. So today we have had the Nintendo Direct, or yesterday I guess, for the 2026, and it's the first Direct in 9 months. So it's been quite a long time since we last had a show of any kind, other than like the mini ones and the partner ones and all that crap that nobody really cares about. But yeah, this is the first one in 9 months, and I gotta say it wasn't that great. It was pretty lackluster. But there was still some stuff that was cool in it, and I'm going to go through it and see what I will think about it. Why am I speaking so badly? But anyway, the first game they showed was kind of weird in the fact that that was the first game they showed, not the game itself. Well, I guess the game itself is kind of weird, but I don't know why they showed this game first. But Rhythm Paradise Groove or Rhythm Heaven Groove, which I like the Rhythm Heaven games. They're pretty fun, but they're very hard, at least for me. You have to get very good with the timing. It's like a very perfection game. But anyway, that's coming out on June 2nd. It's going to be $40, I'm pretty sure, which is pretty cheap, but it is a smaller game, so it makes sense. Anyway, then they showed off. There was a lot of third party stuff in this direct. I've got to say that. They showed off Onimusha, which is coming out in September. Dragon's Dogma 2, which is another third party port. Then they showed off Stellar Blade, another third party port. Orbitals, which is exclusive, which is something I would like to see more of. There wasn't many Switch 2 exclusives in this direct. It's mostly just multiplats. But yeah, this is like a weird co-op game, which is pretty fun. Like, I don't know, Brothers Tale of Two Bumholes. I don't think that's actually a co-op game, but yeah. It's like A Way Out. Well, It Takes Poo. Then we also have Rayman Legends, which is the game that was meant to be a Wii U exclusive and then wasn't. That's coming out in October. Then they had Big Walk, which I thought this game looked really uncanny. Like it looks like a PS2 game with PS3 graphics. It was like very weird. Like these graphics don't look very like it doesn't match the visuals of the characters at all. And then we had this like weird One Piece game that is like a Game Boy Advance game, and it doesn't really make sense why it's a One Piece game. I mean, like this could be like any series, really. Like, what the hell does it got to do with One Piece other than the fact that like there's food in One Piece, but I don't see what that is relevant. Like, what is the relevance? I just feel like they just slapped the One Piece thing on it and called it a so they could make more money on it. Because if this was like, this could be literally any other game frat. This could be like a new, like unique IP. Like, I don't see why it needs to be One Piece, but whatever. Then they had some Pokemon DLC, and I don't care about that really, to be honest. I think it's okay, but I don't even have the base game, and I don't care about the base game because I don't really like these sandbox games really. They're not that fun to me. Then they showed off Fire Emblem Fortune's Wave, another game I don't really care about because I don't care about RPGs. But this one also has an $80 price tag, which I'm not happy about at all. I talked about that in the other video. But this coming out in September, great. But then they showed off something really weird. Ninjala 2, which was the sequel to a free-to-play game. I'm not even 100% sure if this is gonna also be a free-to-play game, but it's open world now, and it looks fucking awful. Like, I swear this was a Switch 1 game, but apparently it's on the Switch 2. I don't know how it's on the Switch 2, because it looks like a fucking Switch 1 game. But whatever. Then they had this DK challenge thing, which I thought was interesting, but I've played it now, and it's literally just like beat the level. That's it. Like, it's barely a challenge mode. It is completely, like, bare bones. It's not fun whatsoever. The only fun thing is the fact you get like stickers, which are basically NFTs. But I think what's the point other than to share it? You can't like it's a limited time thing, so this is gonna go away very quickly because it's only gonna be until September. So yeah. And then they also showed off this limited time Mario thing where you could like in the DLC you could be Mario and Luigi, which is cool, I guess. But I don't have the DLC and I don't care about this game at all. But it was funny that this is the only Mario thing they even showed in the direct. Everybody wanted Mario Kart DLC or the new Mario game, but we got that instead, so that's great. Anyway, they showed Jujutsu Kaisen Survivor game, which Looks pretty much like they just slapped the IP on an existing game and called it a day. And I don't care. Another third party game. Are you noticing that there's a lot of third party stuff? A lot of third party ports? Lies of P, Devil May Cry 5. I'm not even sure if this has the ray tracing in it. Muramasa, this is a cool one. This is a sequel to a game that was on the PS Vita and the Wii. And it's getting a sequel, but not the original for some reason. I don't know why the original is not coming to the Switch. That would be cool. But anyway, yeah, this is the big-ish one. They're announcing all 3 Xenoblade games against Switch 2 editions. So yeah, they're going to be 4K 60 FPS. I'm not sure if they're going to be like native 4K though. But they're definitely going to be 60 FPS. And in handheld mode 1080p. So if it's 1080p handheld, it kind of makes me feel like it's probably going to be upscaled to 4K. Especially considering the originals were like 720p. But it definitely looks better than the originals. At least for me. It's definitely more high resolution, at least in some way. But then they also announced Xenoblade Genesis, which is the new Xenoblade game, which is cool, I guess. But then the game I was actually really excited for is this new Switch Sports Resort, because I really like Pilot Wings, and we aren't getting Pilot Wings, but we're getting close to it, which for this Switch Sports Resort game, which will have the plane mode, but it also has all the other Switch Sports games. The issue is, well, first of all, Wuhu Island looks a lot different to the original, which is not that big of a deal. But the other big deal is that there's no Miis in it. They all have these weird, stupid ass, like weird Mii thingies that aren't Miis at all, and it kind of looks really awful, and I hate it. Why are we not getting actual Miis? I don't understand. And where is the jetpack? Can we get the jetpack? Can we get an actual Pilot Wings game instead of thumb wrestling? This is cool though. Skateboarding is pretty cool. And power cruising I like, yeah. But yeah, here we go, prop playing. I hope it's like really big and expanded in terms of like what you can do with it. Because on the Wii version, it's not that big. It's okay, but it's not amazing. But yeah, it could be a lot bigger. But yeah, that's coming out. After this, they showed RuneScape, which they've showed like 15 times on other things, and it looks not great at all, and I don't understand why they're even making it. It looks really crap. Then they showed Star Fox, and nobody cares about Hello Kitty, which is getting a free demo, which is cool, I guess. But I still don't understand the point of this remake. It looks the exact same as the original. We already have the 3DS version, which was pretty good. Like, that already looks visually very good to me, so I don't understand why we did another version of the game, but whatever. It's not me. I don't need to buy it, so who cares? It's made by, like, a third party anyway, so it's not like Nintendo is wasting development. It is what it is. But then they announced this new 2D HD Fire Emblem game, which is going to be, like, a classic Fire Emblem. It has, like, all the classic, like, ideals, like the open world stuff, and it has the big blimp, which is cool. But the issue is, I don't really give a shit about RPGs, so. But yeah, maybe I'll play that one. But I just hate turn-based games. Then they had PQ Niku 2, which I have no idea what it is about, but I guess it's cool. I think they've already announced that though, so I don't think it's a new game. Then they had a new Dragon Quest Monsters game. I never even played the originals, so yeah, I guess that's cool. I think that's another game they've already announced though. That's coming out December. Then they showed another trailer for the Duskbloods, which is a game they announced like over a year ago at the beginning of the Switch 2 reveal. And they didn't show any gameplay again. But they did announce there's going to be an online beta test in the summer. Because it's an online game. And I don't care about it. Then they showed Splatoon Raiders, which is coming out very soon. I still have no idea what this game you even do in it. And like, I feel like I watched the gameplay and I feel like you just go around collecting these orb things. And then that's about it. Just killing enemies and getting orbs. It seems like a looter shooter kind of game. It's not that interesting whatsoever, in my opinion. I have no interest in playing it. But I guess if you like these kind of repetitive bullshit games, you'll like this one. I don't know. Don't ask me about this. I just like playing the action. I wish there was like an actual Splatoon platformer game again, like the fucking Splatoon 3 campaign and stuff like that. They haven't done anything like that. But there's also going to be a direct. Maybe they'll say more about the game there. Probably not, because I feel like that's the whole game, just that. Also a Splatoon Splatfest. They do still do those. And then there's also Joy-Cons, but you can't even see the color unless you have like the thingy, which you're not going to be using, or the actual Switch. So what's the point? It seems completely pointless because the fucking controller is still black. What the fuck is the point? Anyway, they announced something people really like, Deltarune. I have not played it, and I do not really care about it. So, yay, if you like Deltarune, this is great, I guess. But yeah, maybe I'll play it. I did play Undertale, so... I don't know. Then we have Metaphor ReFantazio. I don't know about this one, because it looks pretty blurry. Like, it is a Switch 2 game. But it looked pretty low res for me. But yeah, that's also coming out. Like, this looked pretty bad, I thought, in terms of the graphics. And then they have Minecraft, which is everybody's favourite game. I don't know how much better they can even make Minecraft look compared to the Switch version. Like, I'm pretty sure it's already running at, like, max details. It's a pixelated game. And that was about it. In terms of, like, the big announcements. They have other games that are coming out. Like, all this crap. But that's not what anybody cares about, really. That's called Tales of Eternia. The real game people care about is the game that they showed last, which is not this. This is Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, this was cool. I'm not a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, like I've played it, but it's not that kind of game for me. The story is fucking stupid, and the action is pretty repetitive, and there's too many of them. There's way too many of them. But they did show Kingdom Hearts 4. And another thing is, like, if you buy the game on the Switch 2, and they're releasing a Switch version of the first two games, even though they had a cloud version. But if you own the cloud version, you can't, like, get, like, a discount or anything. Well, you can, but it's not much of a discount. You can't get, like, the Switch 2 version for free, or the Switch 1 version, even. You have to, like, buy the whole game at a slight discount, again. Which is really stupid. Well, at least for me. But I didn't buy... I'm not stupid enough to buy a cloud version of a game, so it doesn't really affect me. But I just think that's stupid anyway. But anyway, then they showed off Kingdom Hearts 4, which is a game they showed off like 4 years ago, I think. So it's been a pretty long time. And it's coming out on the Switch 2, which I guess makes sense. But, like, the third party on the Switch 2 is definitely a lot better than the Switch 1, at least for now. Like, I know people were like, oh, the Switch 1 at the beginning had pretty decent third party. But it's definitely a lot better now, even by that standard. Like, I don't know how long it's going to last. Like... But I feel like it's mostly to do with the fact that, like, progression and graphics haven't gotten much better since, like, this generation. So I feel like it's a lot easier to just make it for the Switch 2 nowadays. Because all the hardware is much more modern. Like, even though the Switch 2 is much less powerful, like, in terms of graphics, it can do what these other systems are doing because they're not doing much. But yeah, it's coming at launch, whenever that is. That could be in, like, 100 years from now. But... it is coming on the Switch too. But anyway, the last announcement was the thing I liked the most, obviously, because it is a remake, or reimagining, or reboot, or whatever the fuck, of Ocarina of Time, which is one of my favourite games of all time. Now, they didn't really show much, which was kind of disappointing. In fact, they didn't really show anything at all, other than like a cloth sheet. Which is great, I guess, if you love cloth sheets. But other than that, it's not really that great. But they did show the model for Link. So we get to see the graphics, at least. And yeah, I actually think it looks pretty good. Like, it doesn't look, like, outstandingly amazing. It still looks pretty, like, PS3 kind of era, kind of graphics. It doesn't exactly look like the cutting-edge visuals you would think. And it's definitely not using, like, ray tracing or anything like that. But... I mean, in terms of like how I would want it to look, in terms of like the original art style, it looks fine. It looks very much like a Twilight Princess kind of thing, but more modern. The only thing I would have to give a nitpick on is the fingers look a bit like low poly and chunky. The fingers look a bit chunky, I think, but we're not gonna be looking at the fingers in the game, so it doesn't really matter that much. What matters is like the face and the back, and the overall it looks fine, and the overall graphics look fine. Like it's not going for any like Link's Awakening chibi kind of bullshit. The thing I'm most excited about though is the fact that they're saying like it's gonna be reborn, which makes me feel like it's gonna be like more of a new fucking new game than just a straight up remake. Like, because if it was a remake, they would just say it was a remake. But this is like this thing reborn. Now, could they just be saying that for the sake of it? Yes, but I don't know. It kind of makes me feel like it's gonna be more of a new reimagining than like just a straight up remake. But who knows? Anyway, yeah, overall that direct was pretty lackluster. I'd probably give it like a 5 out of 10. Like, I'm excited for the new Zelda Ocarina of Time. I'm excited for some of the other stuff like the Switch Sports. And I'm excited for the Rhythm Paradise game. But other than that, I don't really give a shit about any of the other stuff that was shown. So, yeah, 5 out of 10, I guess. At least we have the September one, assuming they do one this year. I'm pretty sure they will. But yeah, the September one, I really, really hope they show fucking something Mario related, like Mario Kart, or the new Mario 3D game that they haven't released yet in 10 years. Well, yeah, 10 years. No, 9 years. A long fucking time, okay? We need that new 3D Mario. My god. But yeah, Mario Kart DLC and the new 3D Mario, and maybe like some Pikmin Switch 2 edition. That would be great. I mean, we got 3 Xenoblade Switch 2 editions. Can we get like one game that is like Pikmin? That would be nice. But yeah, what did you think of the Nintendo Direct? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you excited for Ocarina of Time? Make sure to like, comment, subscribe in the fucking comments, or whatever the hell, and see you next time on Fresh Gaming News. Bye bye.